Guys, are you leaving? Before you go, can I trouble you for some final thoughts or maybe some questions you would like to leave us with? By the way, I love your outfit. You are just brilliantly color coordinated. I love it. And your hair goes with the table, so it'll be very sad to see you go. But anyway.
Just final thoughts. I was pleasantly surprised to find a conversation going on about veganism and things like that. I was just saying I was surprised to find a conversation about veganism going on here and that people are engaging. I quite like that, and the idea of sexual health and the need for education and things like that. So I enjoyed that. Final thoughts, not really any thoughts.
But you've been absolutely great. Thank you very much for dropping by. And any final thoughts from you? Because you've made some excellent contributions too.
If the news is your only source of information, then you're misinformed. Go out there and find what you need to find yourself. And if you're at a crime scene, go and investigate yourself. It's your choice. You figure out what you think is right and wrong.
That's an excellent point. So guys, don't believe everything you see in the news. Don't believe everything you think. That's another one of them. And now over to Evie. Give her a round of applause to kick us off with some fresh energy.
Fantastic. We've got a few people here who are kind of like on the sidelines. They want to come in. So I'm just going to go. Have we got Omar over here? Is that right? Fantastic. Can I just ask your name as well?
Savian.
Okay, Savian, and I know you sort of joined us, but you're a bit like, what is this thing? Guys, I feel like that's the same thought you have in your head. Guys, are you from Newham? Yeah, okay, fantastic. Come and take the table. This is Talkaoke. It's a pop-up talk show. And guys, we have covered an immense amount of topics today. So we talked a bit about veganism, we talked a bit about sexual health, we talked about whether we like Newham or not, we talked about, we talked about Twitter, where you get your news from, and I think Margot's excited to kick off some subjects. First of all, can I just grab your names as well, please?
My name's Paul.
Olivia. Savian. Sean.
And hello guys, my name's Evie, and this is Margot over here.
Hello, I'm just like really interested in your dress, or like, is it a dress? Is it some kind of like a smock dress? Because it kind of is it a vegan outfit? Because like the leopard print really like stands out for me.
Not sure how vegan it is, but it's leopard print for sure.
Well, I think it's quite interesting. The last time I did Talkaoke, not here, but I was wearing a leopard print shirt, and we kind of got on about whether is it right to wear an animal print? Is that kind of maybe making animal prints more desirable? Maybe they're making people want to buy fur. Like, is this something that people react? Maybe you want to buy more plants now, Sean, because you've got a plant on your. Yeah, exactly. Are you objectifying plants? How do you feel about that?
I saw the design. I thought it was quite nice. I can sort of see the point. It sort of makes you feel like, ooh, you're more into nature, and I guess it's fitting in with social norms because you wear like animal prints and nature prints because it connects you to the environment you're in. So I guess you're fitting in with social norms, but whether it makes you feel like you'd want to take more plants and take more animal skin, perhaps.
Perhaps. Okay, we've got some responses over here as well from Paul. Is that right?
That's right. I think everyone should wear more t-shirts with cats on them because I think that's much better than animal prints. Just have like at least 6 cats on your t-shirt.
But am I objectifying cats in space? I don't know your name. What is your name? Alian, we're just talking about like just what we wear, like what does it make us feel? Are we being pressured into social norms? Like, how do we feel? Like, is this man objectifying the Czech print by wearing a Czech print, or is he supporting something? I'm actually quite intrigued by your t-shirt, Alian. What is it?
It's a brand. It's said London.
Okay, it looks like a football team, but it's a brand.
Yes.
Okay, so we've got some thoughts over here as well.
Leopard prints and stuff. Some cultures they don't like. I think they don't like killing like animals being like. I don't know. Does it like relate with animals being killed or something?
Okay, so you're sort of throwing that out to the table. Does it relate? I'm gonna go Omar and then Margot.
Yeah, but I don't think they should kill animals just to wear their fur. Especially now we can make artificial fur and we can have like fake leopard print and things which looks real.
Okay, so there's no need for us to like maybe kill animals anymore because we can make this fake fur.
I just had a thought because I'm middle-aged currently, but when I was much younger, I always like I would never wear. Sorry, I'm gonna demonstrate. I would never wear this to like any public event whatsoever, because I'd be like, no, I really need to like make an effort, wear proper pants, not this. And I've noticed that in my older age, I've stopped caring about clothing so much, and I kind of wonder whether attention to, you know, the clothes that we wear, is that something that's like typical of, I don't know, of being younger, or I don't know.
Well, I think because you had to like, women had to like, back in that day, they had to always like look presentable into like a wedding or into like society and stuff like that. But now, as like women could like now wear tracksuits or something like that, you wouldn't really care more or care less, because you know that you are now appreciated in this society and you don't need to look the part.
Hi guys. Oh, and we've got a few guys. Does it matter what you wear? No, it doesn't matter what you wear. I like it. Okay, so we've got some people quite firmly no on the situation.
When I was little, when I was 4-year-old, but even my brother knows that he's there. We had a book. It was full of history. I looked at the page. It was like a tiger, but his skin was all cleared out, and his body was on one side. So I got scared and I stopped crying after the.
And was it an actual real like tiger skin, or was it like a pretend one?
No, it's about how tigers, how people wear their like skins.
Oh, so it was someone else wearing it.
And also, when we're talking about like people, like animals getting killed by people only because they're self-greed, only because they're self-image, only because they want to look perfect, they want to be this presentable person. But even if, for example, you can say somebody that like just wears a tracksuit and then somebody wears a suit and tie, you don't know if that person with a suit and tie could be the world's most notorious killer, and then the person with the tracksuit can be the most smartest person in the world, which could cure cancer. Basically, appearances is the appearance on the inside, not on the outside, that matters. Inside matters.
I think this is a really interesting point about like, how do we get judged for what we wear as well, and does that matter?
I agree with you, obviously, but I also feel like society really judges us on the way we look, and it goes across everything. I think clothes are one of them. And like, I work in the arts, and I recently, because I cycle to work, I cycle in these, and I cycle today. That's the reason why I've got them on. And then I forgot to bring my trousers to work, and my manager was like, "You're gonna actually wear trousers?" I was like, "Nah, I forgot, but I work in the arts. What do you mean?" And it's like, it's not massively appropriate. And I just thought, damn, it's still a thing. It doesn't matter what my contribution is, and it doesn't matter the environment that I work in, but somebody supposedly can judge me still on that.
I'm going to go Sean, and then I'm going to go over here.
I think we've built up an attitude towards appearance as it being really important. And with shows like Love Island, where we've seen, I mean, everyone's wearing like, well, they're either wearing nothing or they're wearing basically just a bikini. Is it something that we really need to focus on, and maybe focusing less on appearance and focusing more on personality, because we think so much about what we wear and what we look like and what our body image is, and there are so many people who still care about their body image. So lots of people, especially young girls, there are lots of people who have mental health issues and they have major concerns about their body image just because of the way they look and because of how society wants them to look. Oh, they have to be slim, they have to have this look, they have to look like that. I mean, should we do something in society to focus less on appearance? Yes, because it's so problematic.
Do you think it's like a societal issue? I'm going to go over here and then over here and then hopefully that.
But this is based on the government, because they have no help whatsoever whatever with this issue. They go like, okay, so let's let the people do what they want to do. Next thing you know, segregation happens. Yeah, segregation happened because the government didn't help, and because the government agreed on it because they were persuaded by white people because they were white themselves, instead of trying to make it into a mixed border of like mixed people, so they have another mix of information, another mix of stuff. Because back in segregation, you had so many people. For example, Emmett Till, he died, and then the people that murdered him, his parents never got justice, his mom never got justice, uncle never got justice. He was badly beaten, and then he got drowned, and you couldn't even tell his appearance because they beat him so badly. And then you just go like, how is this happening? Only because the government couldn't help with this issue.
So you reckon it's like, and do you think, I think that was a really, really good, strong point and very well articulated as well. Do you think that it's like, so you're hoping that if we get the government more diverse, that people are going to actually start seeing these problems? Or do you think maybe people are maybe willfully ignoring these some way as well?
Some people are ignoring it because they know it might start conflict again, like the civil war that happened in America, which happened because they wanted to ban the Jim Crow laws, but then other people wanted it to continue because they wanted it to be slaves. That's why the KKK happened, because they wanted to show fear into black people to know that they are still slaves. But then I feel like it's just because of fear and because they know that war will happen and they don't want this to happen at all.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for such an articulated point as well. Thank you. I think we've just got one person leaving, so Sean, I'm just going to ask you for your final thought. You've been fantastic today. We've had some really interesting insights from you. So I'm just wondering if you could leave us with a final thought or maybe a final question for the table.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I've been here for the past hour and a half, so I'm going to have to leave. In conclusion, I'll try to cover everything we've covered. Yes, school cuts are a poor idea. Yes, we should tax people more. No, we shouldn't get rid of Love Island, but we should adapt it. And yeah, I think the systems are broken, and having ultra concept, I mean, austerity has just made things worse and worse, and actually austerity was a poor idea for our financial system. But yeah, that's...
Can we have a round of applause for Sean, please? Thank you. I think you might want to sneak around that way. I'm going to go over here as well.
Alright, so basically, what he was trying to say, the boy that just went, is people feel insecure about themselves just because how people judge them. And the second thought about his opinion, I believe in the same opinion, because I don't know if I should bring this up, but you know, some topics like there's some disgusting stuff that happens in the world, which is like rape and stuff, and even like 12-year-olds like me are gonna find out since it's happening in our neighborhoods and stuff. Also, the news, they don't, sometimes it's the stuff that happens, they feel so, the news reporters feel so ashamed to actually say it to the world, because it's going to be really ashamed, and people are going to start saying, why didn't you bring this up before, and why didn't this happen before? And that's it for me.
Thank you. Okay, so you think maybe like people are too ashamed to talk about the stuff that happens, that they just don't bring it up at all, and that actually that's sort of causing the problems to grow a bit further? So it's sort of kind of the ideas. We've got some thoughts over here.
What will happen if you're watching YouTube and sometimes there's these ads on TV, there are some ads at elephant dying because they're going to be shot dead.
Did you say an elephant?
Yeah, elephants, animals, and you just go off ignoring it, don't today anything. So, and every elephant that what you do, then you're going to start, then you're going to today after they're dead. So it's no point of time you're today to them.
Has anyone got any responses to that as well? Like, what do we think, guys?
I kind of wanted to make a point about, because you said there's a lot of disgusting stuff that's happening in the world currently, but I also think that precisely because of that, we don't want to talk about it, and news doesn't want to report on it, is because I think it's important to keep people people like optimistic and just hear good news, because bad news just like it's just such a downer. I mean, I think we all know that bad things are happening, but do we need to talk about it in the news, like, or on Love Island and that kind of, I prefer Love Island to the news, quite frankly.
Yeah, what do we think? Like, should we avoid the news? Should the news like actually maybe give us a balance? I'm going to go here.
Well, sometimes the news can give you important information about what's happening, but then sometimes they give you misleading information about, like, they just give you information. For example, if you go on a newspaper, they'll show you what happened and the both sides of the story. If you go onto the news and, like, for example, like a talk show, they would go like, okay, this happened and there's no side of the story. They only show one point and then you have to believe it. They're kind of being biased instead of actually avoiding putting up 2 points.
Okay, I like it. So then actually, because of what they do, they are being biased. We've got two people who might be about to dash off, so can I just get you guys to give us some final thoughts, maybe a question to leave us with on the table?
What will happen if every animals are dead? What will you do, and what will you do after when they're dead?
So what would happen if every animal died, and what would we do after? Was that the question? Okay, I'm going to save that as well. And you were popping off as well? You can leave us with a final thought or question.
I'm not sure, but I think the wildlife will be offended if you wear like leopard prints and stuff, but it's alright.
Fantastic. Okay, so we think we've got two great questions to leave us on. We're thinking, and we've got some new people on the table. Sir, come and join us. We're Talkaoke. We're a pop-up talk show. Grab a seat, take the weight off your legs, and we're going to introduce ourselves to everyone, just so we know who everyone is first of all. So hello, my name's Evie. This is Talkaoke. We're a pop-up talk show. We've been talking about whether it's wrong to wear animal print. Maybe the animals are going to be offended, and we're also talking about what would we do if all the animals in the world died. First of all, what are your names?
Trey.
Bo-Star. Margot.
Gillian.
Collins.
Paul.
Omar.
Olivia.
Olivia, okay, and so and then hello, I missed you after all that.
Kyle,
hello, can everyone say hello, Kyle? Fantastic. Kyle, so I can see you're wearing a very strongly patterned shirt. It's not leopard print. What would you say about the concept of wearing an animal print? Do you think there's anything ethical to wearing an animal print attached to it?
Yeah, I think people would think that wearing animal print means that they wear those things because of choice and that, but sometimes it's not personal like effect on animals as such. They're just like the pattern, for example, not necessarily actually wearing the skin or the skins from the animals itself, but they're just fact that they like the pattern.
Yeah, Olivia, can you respond as well?
Inspired by nature rather than being nature.
Oh, a great thing. So inspired by nature rather than being nature itself. So that's maybe how we should think about what we wear.
Yeah, but I think that it's unethical to wear real fur, real leopard print, but it's not unethical to wear like a leopard print design, like artificial leopard print design. That's not unethical.
And Paul's like, no, I disagree.
No, I just have a question. I wonder whether people think it's okay to wear leather shoes. If it's not okay to wear, skins or furs of animals.
So is it okay, guys? Is it okay to wear leather shoes? What do you guys think? Do you wear leather shoes? Are you is that something that you think about?
I do.
Come a little bit closer. I've got very short arms.
I do wear leather shoes. Quite a lot.
And then, so we're thinking about leather. We were talking about fur. We were talking about animal prints. Do you think there's a difference between wearing leather and wearing fur, or do you mind? Oh, we've got some thoughts over here as well.
Because if you was like wearing fur jackets, I don't think they should do that anymore, because what they're doing, they could be taking the skin from the animal and then putting it on clothes, and then they're taking all the skin off the animal. Then that will make more less animals with fur.
Okay, and then Bosa, I understand actually from yesterday that you were also an animal lover, and you've got some thoughts on this.
So it's not alright to wear skin from a real animal. It's alright if you have inspired artwork from it, but it's not alright though, because animals are probably have what's it called? They've gave their life for that skin and the food and all that, but then everyone's just doing it even though it is illegal to do it. And they're doing it, they shouldn't really be doing it. It's animal cruelty.
So kind of like the payoff is quite like, it's quite small, isn't it? You're like, they've given a life just so you can wear a coat in the winter. It doesn't seem very fair. Gillian.
So, when they say, I agree, do not wear real animal prints or fur, because you're just killing their nature and their habitat. And also, if all the animals went extinct, we would die because there would be no food source, the food chain would be broken, and then as we need the food chain to survive, their natural habitats, if you're like saying you kill the animals, you might kill them through deforestation by killing their natural habitat, or just like tranquilizing them, taking off their skin. That would kill them completely, and then we would have to try to adapt into another method or another way, which would take like years to, because when we found the first fire, how long was that? That was like a million years ago, which took so much improvement from the first fire to now electrical fire that we have. So if you're doing it now, saying that we lose our food sources, what will happen next? We'll have to take another million years to adapt to that.
I mean, Margot, who's also got some interesting cheesy chips on the table as well. Are they Parmesan cheesy chips?
Yeah, you guys are welcome to try some. They've got some truffle oil, which I think it's vegan/vegetarian. Please have some. But it's interesting that you said about leather shoes, because yeah, I think real fur is a no-go, yet somehow in my mind leather shoes occupy a different compartment, which is, oh, that's gonna last long, this is natural, this is, this is a good investment, which obviously is flawed in some ways. Also, a lot of the clothes that we wear, they're cheaply made somewhere like Bangladesh, Bulgaria, and there's another layer of problems there. Yes, we're not killing animals, but are we contributing to people's really shitty lives? Sorry about language.
I'm gonna go over here and then over to you, Paul.
Like, about the leather, there's people, like really posh people, they have like loads of animal fur, and like it's real animal fur, and people like they think it's okay and they think that they're really cool, when other people think that like it's not okay because they've like got fur from animals and like killed them.
So you're saying that people, they've actually killed them themselves?
Themselves, but like, yeah.
They've actually had to like sacrifice a life for it. I think there were a few nods a bit earlier. So Olivia, you had some comments.
Fur isn't a byproduct of the meat industry, but leather is.
It feels like we're in a very cool house party right now. There's a lot of reverb. I think if I hold it a bit more like this.
Alright. Fur isn't a byproduct of the meat industry, but leather is. So it's a bit of if you eat meat, then maybe it's okay, but if you don't, then maybe it's a bit hypocritical.
I like it. So maybe actually it's just thinking about where our food comes from. So maybe wearing leather is okay because if we eat meat, leather is a byproduct of the meat industry, and therefore it's different from killing an animal for fur. So what do we think? Hello guys, welcome. What are your names?
My name is Genga.
Genga?
My name is Ghana.
Ghana. Yep, fantastic. Welcome, guys. We're talking about animal prints, we're talking about fur. You guys are leaving, yes? Can I have some final thoughts or maybe a final question to leave us on this table of chat that we can discuss when you go?
Well, I think that they should stop making, like, sacrificing, like killing animals to add to fur on clothes.
Okay, so that's fantastic. Thank you very much. Can we just give him a small round of applause as well? There we go. And Bosto, you're also off. Can you, again, give us any final thoughts or questions?
Does anyone, do you think it's alright to kill an animal for its fur? And, actually I don't know, to be honest.
So do we think it's okay to kill an animal for fur? Kyle, you're not also leaving, are you? You're going to stay here and just like cement this beautiful relationship we've just started?
I'm just going to say that I think the public should be made a lot more aware about the animal sufferings, and therefore that they will think twice about buying products that are animal related. So education and awareness is most important thing.
Fantastic, thank you very much, Carl. Can we give Carl a round of applause as well? And then I'm going to go over here to Paul and then over here.
I think it's kind of unanimous that people agree you shouldn't wear animal furs, and the things that people are saying are, people obviously don't want to see animals suffering, but I wonder how long it's going to be before people think it's really unacceptable to eat animals, and I wonder what people here think about whether it's still okay to eat animals.
So maybe we're on the tip of the iceberg of maybe we're discussing about stopping using animal products. Maybe that'll come to what we eat as well.
Well, when he said, what was it? When he said sacrificing animals, that goes way back to religion, when Christianity, where you sacrifice animals for the gods. I feel like that's when it all started. That's when people started sacrificing animals. But so now some religions have banned that. They said that you can't eat this type of animal or try sacrifice it because they're holy and stuff and like that, which could be added to all of them, because we need to preserve these animals now before the time comes where they're all extinct and we're all gone forever and this planet is nothing.
Fantastic, thank you very much. I'm just wondering, what do you guys think over here? Especially, I feel like you're maybe the youngest voice on the table. What are your perspectives on maybe eating animals or using animals, or just any other ideas that come into your head? You can also share.
എന്താണ് ആനിമൽസിനെ പറ്റിയുള്ളത്? What do you think?
When we use our pets, we give our pets food. Yeah. And we play with them.
Actually, this is quite an interesting point. So yeah, when we have pets ourselves, we'll feed them. We'll probably give them if it's a dog, we might give them meat. And we're talking about whether we treat animals fairly. Who here has pets? Anyone here got what kind of pets do you have?
I have a cat.
And what do we think about, Margaret? You've got sort of maybe the pet subset. Have you guys got pets? No. Would you guys like pets? Maybe. No. Why would you not want a pet? We're deciding as a table whether we think pets are a good thing or a bad thing. Oh, so you might like a cat, you might like a pet. Margaret, you've got some thoughts on the pet situation, and also Gwilliam.
Not so much about pet situation, but I was thinking about the veganism, and I think the problem that I've got with veganism is that okay, goodbye. But the problem that I have with veganism is I like the idea of it, but it just it's a lot of effort, and I feel like and I think it's all connected. I think the world that we live in means that you have to earn a lot of money, but in order for you to do that, you have to have trillions of jobs, and therefore you just run out of hours in a day to cook food, to plan stuff. And some people are parents on top of that as well. Not myself, but there were a lot of people around the table saying that, and I think we can all get on board with doing good things for the planet, but the system, it just still wants us to work harder, work more hours, earn more money, and crave stuff and want more stuff. It's going to be hard. It's fucking hard.
Olivia and Paul, I know that you have to go, so again, I was going to ask you some final thoughts or some questions to leave for the table.
Can I just say how inspiring you all are, and you give me hope.
Oh, fantastic. We can definitely give her a round of applause. Thank you, Olivia. And Paul, anything else to add?
I would second that. There's some good young voices on this panel, so keep thinking, keep speaking, keep using your voice.
We just had the next Prime Minister over here. You had some thoughts as well. Can you tell us to the table, maybe perhaps as the future Prime Minister?
So when you say is it good to have a pet? Yes, because if you're homeless and you have no other connections to family, and then for a random reason you see a stray dog, and because they say a dog is a man's best friend, just like a cat is, because a dog and a cat, they're compassionate, they're effective to their owners, because some dogs, they guard their owners, they know it. And then saying about killing animals, would you kill your own pets for the sensation of wearing their fur? That's what I want to ask.
Oh, that's very interesting. Just quickly before I go to Omar, have you guys got pets?
No.
Would you want one?
Yes.
What kind of pet would you want?
A rabbit.
A unusual choice. I like that. How about you guys? Have you got pets? Would you want one?
No, I don't have a pet.
Have you got a desire to have one?
Actually, no, because I'm scared of them.
Maybe it's like not everyone likes pets, so they're scared of them. Omar, you had some thoughts on this.
Yes, I was thinking that like if you kill one leopard, you endanger the whole species. But with like we're talking about leather, with cow leather and pig leather, they won't get endangered or extinct if you use them for leather. And what else? I don't think there's anything wrong with having pets. I think do you have any pets?
I don't, but my sister does. My sister has 2 cats. Actually, I'm just going to throw out there to the crowd as well. Hello, very fashionable lady in the green top. Do you guys have pets? Do you have pets? Oh, she's like, oh no, maybe not today, maybe not today. We're just talking about pets, guys. Is it right to own a pet? I don't know do you guys own pets yourselves? Like, fashionable lady in the pink jumper. She's maybe thinking about it, whether we're having pets as well. You guys, can you give us any final thoughts of what we've talked about today?
I think it was good, and he had like lots of ideas and stuff, so I think it would help.
Okay, so ideas will help us.
It was good about pets.
But it was good about pets. Do you think we should talk more about pets?
Yes or no? I don't know.
Possibly, we don't know. Thank you very much, guys, for illuminating us this lovely Sunday afternoon at Talkaoke, the People's Talk Show. Guys, this is a fantastic thing to join in at. Margot's got a question, but come and sit down. Come and join us. Tell us if you've got a pet, or maybe not, and if not, why.
You said something controversial in my books, and that is, did you say dog is a man's best friend, and so is the cat, because they're both affectionate. Now, it's a lie. Cats are the most disaffectionate animals in the planet. They literally have so much attitude. I hate cats. I can't stand them. Honestly, dogs at least you can have a bit of a rapport going on, but with cats, like literally, there's no connection. That's how I see cats. Literally, they're just crazy animals. They just go and do what they want. Like, how can you even look after them? Do they even know that you're their pet? Maybe they treat you like their pet, and they come and like be nice to you when they. I mean, do you have cats? Jesus, I hate cats.
I love dogs, okay? No, I don't want rubbish.
Just
I like dogs, okay? I know that. Yeah, I like dogs. However, I've got a cat now, and they are intelligent. They are intelligent creatures. They really are. But they're very independent. I couldn't agree with you more. I can see how people dislike them, but I like dogs and cats. Good combination.
Okay, so you think good combination?
I disagree with you in a very high point. When you say that cats, they think that you're their pet. My friend has her own cat, which recently passed away. Basically, she had her own cat, and like I only see that every time I would go knock on her door. So every time I would go knock on her door, the cat would come out. Cat would come outside and then would stroke me every single time. She was very, very affectionate about people around her. That's only different types of cat. Cause you're talking about there's a lot of different species, a lot of different types of cat. Cause you've got tigers that save people. You could even talk about the gorilla that saved the boy that fell from the zoo. It's literally animals. They have their own type of they have their own type of instincts, but they know when they need to be affectionate as well.
Okay, and I think so. Animals, they know how to be affectionate. We just don't understand them, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with what you're saying. I think Margot is falling into the trap of generalising about animals, and just generalising overall. We know that can be quite dangerous.
It's true. I may have generalised there, but really, one thing that I've learned about animals, and in fact babies, did you know that little babies, that's what I heard, apparently little babies, they have big eyes, because in the nature, like all the puppies and like little animals when they're born, they have big eyes, and the reason why is that they make you feel like you want to look after them, so you don't want to kill them, and that goes for human babies and animal babies, so they look cute on purpose. So I don't believe anything that comes from animals. They have their own intelligence, like you said, and therefore they're playing us, and cats in particular.
I'm gonna bring some people people into the cat. Guys, do you have pets? Do you think we're just talking about whether we think that we can? Have you got a spider at home? What are your names, guys? Oh, maybe not. We're just talking about whether we like pets, whether we think they're good. Animals are puppies are designed to be cute, so we have to look after them. Is that distrustful?
That's distrustful. Tigers are a different type of cat. They have big eyes, so they still get killed.
But do baby tigers get?
Yeah, some baby tigers do, just like seals and stuff like that. Different types of animals, they may have the affection that we want to take care of them, but then they're in their own instincts, they're in their own period of time. We were gorillas once, we still got killed. So you need to think about, you can't only generalize it by this day of age, you need to generalize it from more different types of generations to make your point correctly.
That was like almost a mic drop there, which I like. Very nicely put, guys. Okay, so I think we need maybe if you need a few more people to join the table. Very dapper guy in the sunglasses over there, just taking them off. Maybe this police cadet could come and tell us some thoughts about being a police cadet. Come and join the table, guys. I need the fashionable lady over there in the scarf. You're not too hot in the scarf. Come and join us. We've been talking about Newham. We've been talking about animals, pets, veganism, vegetarianism. Maybe a little bit about the volunteer police as well. Can you tell us your name first of all?
I'm Kian Allen.
And why are you part of the volunteer police? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I think young people these days are trapped in crime, so as a volunteer police cadet, I think we can provide an alternative and some positive support towards the young people who are trapped in crime, and hopefully provide something that's not going to get them in these dangers.
Okay, so it's a positive alternative to not having a lot of stuff to do. We got a few people who potentially I never got the chance to join the volunteer police cadets. Have you guys ever heard of this? Was this something that was an option for you growing up?
So we had the space, not space cadet. Yeah. So the flight cadets, and then we had the police cadets, and then so we had to when I was in primary, we got the police cadets. So we got to meet with the Metropolitan Police, and they got to tell us what we needed to do, what we needed to volunteer for. Then we got the flight cadets police, the flight cadets, which told us we would get that and stuff like that, and for secondary. And then I went what should I pick? And I was really indecisive, because being a police officer, you literally get really strong, you can fight crime, you change the world, which Donald Trump isn't doing for his country.
Oh! It was only a matter of time before Donald Trump came up, guys.
And also Kim Jong-un. Let's just leave them out of this.
Yeah.
And then after I went okay, but then the flight cadets as well, they could change the world, which I'm not gonna mention those two people again. And then I went okay, which one should I choose? And I was very indecisive, so I went okay, let me go for something political, even though I really wanted to be a police cadet, because to see the way they motivate people into fight crime, to stop people from going into gangs and stuff like that, that's what made me want to volunteer to be a police.
Fantastic, thank you. I'm just going to do a round of names, and I'm going to go to Omar over here. And so guys, welcome. This is Talkaoke. It's a pop-up talk show. We've discussed a crazy amount of things today, but first of all, can I just get your names?
My name's Emre.
Angeline.
Kian.
Amelina.
Omar.
Collins.
Gillian.
Kane.
Margot. And hello guys, my name's Evie, nice to meet you. Omar, you had a response about the volunteer police cadets. Guys, also feel free to take up a seat. What's your name?
Christine.
What was that?
Christine.
Christine, welcome Christine. Come and grab a seat if you'd like. Come and hover in the sidelines and just, maybe give us your thoughts. Omar, some thoughts about the police cadets and maybe other things, flight cadets. I'm sorry, it sounds so much cooler.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I've got two brothers who are police officers as well. Yeah.
And did they come to being police officers through the police cadets?
No, they didn't. They went through, I think they started being volunteer, constable, community support officers, and yeah. Then they became one brother became a detention officer, and then they became C's. And now one brother, he's done his exams and become a sergeant.
And so is this quite a popular career path at the moment, do we reckon? I'm going to go for Margot over here.
I've got a quick question. Basically, policemen have the uniforms, right? But you look really stylish, and I think personally that if I saw a policeman or woman dressed like this, I'll be like, no, they're safe, they're cool. I can actually chat to them. I mean, the conversation could be about fashion to start with, and then maybe we can move on to like community safety and that kind of stuff. Just because something that we were discussing here on the table is that people feel that maybe there isn't much connection with police, maybe there's not enough of it. And I think, talking about like, we can all get on board with like fashion. Everybody's got some kind of ideas about fashion, and policemen kind of like stand out in their uniforms, but I don't know if it's a good thing. I don't know if you have any views about it. We just see the policemen in
Yeah, I think you could be right. I mean, I don't know if youth today, like when they see a police officer, it's like, I don't know, I get a mixed reaction, really. Yeah.
I reckon mixed reaction. What do you think about when you see a police officer?
Oh, well, I think they get out on the streets when they school, their uniforms.
Yeah. Okay, so and we actually maybe have someone who is a representative of the volunteer police cadets who maybe wants to give us some thought. We've been talking, Margot here says maybe if policemen looked a bit more fashionable, maybe they might be a bit more proportional. Yeah, exactly. Maybe if they were like maybe wearing a football team that we liked or disliked, or maybe some cool sunglasses, or what do we think about this?
Yes, but not football.
Okay, well, something to connect us. That might be a good thing. Or like some gesticulation over here. What do you reckon?
No, I think we should stick to the uniform.
Yeah, why do you think we should stick to the uniform?
It makes us stand out. It makes people know who we are.
Okay, so you think it's important, it makes people know who we are. I'm going to go over here first.
It's because the uniform gives authority. That's why people feel a disconnect, why they can't sometimes relate to police officers, because they're not dressed like us. Like sometimes when I see police officers, I get a mixed reaction. I sometimes feel safe, sometimes I don't. I feel like, what have I done wrong when I see them sometimes?
Yeah, I like that as a thought. I'm going to go over here and then over here.
But then in France, the police officers' uniforms are designed by Jean-Paul Gaultier, so they're very, very, very fashionable. Maybe we should be copying the French.
Okay. Should we have designer police uniforms? I quite like that as a topic. I'm going to go over here first.
I'm sorry. Copywriting is not the answer. We've already established this. We're not going to do copywriting anymore. I'm done with this. Because next thing you know, Portugal had this kidzania, I don't know how you say it in English. So then the next few years later, I see it in England. I go like, why would you copy that off of a country? I get it to make it more popular, but I feel like they should like try and make their own design, try and make it like unique to stand out instead of trying to copy a different country just to make it like to be like plain, but make it yourself, make it unique.
But maybe we could, maybe then we should just borrow Amelina's sunglasses, and if everyone wore Amelina's sunglasses in the police, would be better.
Yeah, maybe some thoughts over here. I'm quite interested. I wanted to speak to you, and then I also you've got some really fashionable earrings on yourself. I wanted to know what are your thoughts on this? What do you feel about fashionable police officers, maybe fashionable NHS workers? Like, should we take more care about our uniformed people in society? Should we make them a bit more smarter and approachable? Who will pay for it is another question.
I love their uniform, it's nice, but if they want to make something unique, that is also great.
Join the radio talk show.
Okay, so maybe we should make something unique. What were you thinking? Oh, remind me of your name.
Emre.
Emre, what do you think?
Well, I think it's good.
Do you think it's good that we have like the current police like uniform? It's good.
Because when people are doing bad things, people know when it's police instead of wearing their uniform. Because if police didn't wear uniform, people who doesn't know what the police is, people don't know who's the police.
Okay, so it's always like a matter of trust. You need to know that the police should have like a strict uniform. Do you agree, sir? Like you should have a strict uniform. Emre over here is saying because people know who you are instantly, and it might be a bit weird if you're wearing maybe some really cool sunglasses. What do you think as a police representative?
I believe. Sorry.
I believe that uniforms are there to promote a certain level of authority, and I think that the person inside that uniform can be slightly more approachable. So to say that authority is a measurable position, but if you soften us, I think it would send the wrong message.
Okay, interesting. So you think maybe if we try to soften the look of the policeman, it sends the wrong message? I'm interested in the fact you're eating some pizza as well. Just like, how do you think that softens your image if you're a policeman eating pizza? Do you feel like maybe you have responsibility to eat healthy food in front of the public?
I'm a type 2 diabetic that's been in the sun all day, dehydrated and hasn't eaten, so I will eat this as I wish to eat it.
A great response, thank you very much. I'm going to go over here to Omar and then over here.
I think that the police uniform needs to be functional and not fashionable.
Okay.
Because they need to be able to do their jobs properly. It needs to be functional.
When you said police, they will be more informative. Back in the day, when segregation happened, what happened there? White people, the policemen, they would come up to a black person, arrest them easily for doing nothing.
Would you want to respond? Thank you.
I have an Irish name. I come from Belfast. If you wish to look at division, try looking at your history. Thank you.
Okay, so maybe people have got different histories as well. So I'm going to go and let William respond to this, and I'm going to go to Margot.
So when you say you're Irish, like, yes, I mean like you are Irish, so I'm not gonna discriminate on anything, because you must have felt what we felt, because your country, I think it was, you had a war where it was from the Northern Ireland, there was a civil war from the Northern Ireland to the South, and then, because I learnt it in history, it said Northern Ireland to the South history, and then you guys had a fight, because Northern Ireland was owned by England, and then Southern Ireland wanted Northern Ireland not to be owned by England, and then you guys had a civil war. Can you add on that, because I might be wrong?
Okay, I like it, yeah, because it is right important as well. Sometimes we don't know enough about each other's cultures, and that can cause confusion as well. And then I'm going to go to Margot over here, just to so we don't get stuck into a two-way thing.
Yes and no. This began obviously with the Protestant and the Catholic division, which began with, I believe, it was the Tudor kings, King Henry VIII, and then prosecuted further by his daughters. So that eventually ended up as a political situation, but further along the line, because you're talking about division, where I have a Belfast name, I was also subject to prejudice, because back in the day, when I was a child, the IRA were active. That's the Irish Republican Army. So with a Belfast name, I was the terrorist. So even today, you have young Muslim children, your young Muslim men, who say, bruv, you don't know what it's like being prejudiced against. Yes, I do. And that happens even while I'm wearing this uniform. History is history. Thank you very much.
So maybe, I think this is one of the things about Talkaoke is maybe we need to talk to each other a little bit more, maybe learn a little bit more from each other as well. I'm going to go for Margaret. You've been desperate to ask a question maybe for about 5 minutes now, so I'm going to move on to Margaret. I've got some lovely new people here who are, I really want to join, but I'm not sure. Come and sit down. Wonderful person with the sunflower. Come and bring some joy to us as well. Come and sit down. We are the pop-up talk show. Margot's going to pose a question or maybe a thought to us.
Yeah, I was going to ask a question. I wanted to say something, but now I've completely changed my mind. But I think it's a very interesting point. I think we make a lot of assumptions about people, but also I think race in itself is quite a complicated, complex thing, and I think and very sensitive as well. And I think particularly in Newham, where this borough is just so very diverse, and certainly coming from outside of the UK, sometimes that kind of comes up, because you're white or whatever, but actually I think people's stories are just very, very different, and I'm interested what do people do with their kind of backgrounds and their stories, and how, whether that reflects their future choices in the jobs that they do. I didn't get a chance to ask, whether you think that the things that you're passionate about today, do you think they may influence your future choices of career and stuff? So that's one of my points. And my second point was, about the fashion and also about their kind of thing of like, have I done something wrong when I go into, when I see a policeman in uniform. I get that with people in supermarket, with the security in supermarkets, and they're like, oh, she's gonna steal these strawberries. I'm not. I can pay for them. It's alright. But it's just like having somebody that really makes you go really tense.
Oh, okay, Emma, you had your hand up. I want to just hear what you were going to say.
So I got a question.
Yeah.
So every single city, so every single kind of city, yeah, like Stratford and East Ham and other places, yeah, so is there police officers every single city? You mean every single city of them? Okay.
So you're saying that we should have more police officers everywhere, or like explain a little bit more?
Like every single city, like in England.
So do you mean like if we have police officers in every single city, it will like make things maybe a bit more equal because like the policemen and women are representative of where they come from, or?
Well.
Don't know. That's all right. Sometimes you need a while to like put your thoughts up, sum it up. I haven't actually even asked your name, and you look fantastic as well.
Holly.
Holly, and then we've got over here.
Mustafa, the reason I come here because I want to show you my new haiku that it's to show young people that never trust strangers online. The one I already performed haiku.
Mustafa, can I pause you really quickly because I do really want to hear your haiku. I just know that Collins, you need to go, and we want to give some final thoughts from you before you go. You're going to come back though. Any quick questions you want to leave us with?
I'm not sure.
Or thoughts.
Like with religion, like peaceful ones, you can base it on exactly what you want.
It's all right, don't worry. If you have anything, let us know though. That's all right. We might come see you later anyway. That's all right. So, Mustafa, okay. Do people want to hear Mustafa's haiku? Are we keen to hear it? Yeah. That's what I like. A little bit of juice at the table.
Well, this is a Talkaoke exclusive from me because if you know haiku, for those who doesn't know haiku is a Japanese poet that split into 17 syllables. So, to make it easier, I split 3 sentences which is known as 575 syllables. So the first one is 5 syllables, the second one is 7 syllables, and the last one is 5 syllables. So I put in the double haiku, so it's about young people never trust strangers online. So I'm reading it right now. Busy with my phone, liking posts on my Insta. Wait, who followed me? Is it really you? Are you a person or nah? Don't trust a stranger. Thank you, that's it. Thank you so much. Oh, and my Instagram is MWArtGamer. Oh wait, it's MW is at and my Instagram is at MWArtGamer_96. Thank you very much, and this is Mustafa signing off. Over to you. What's your name? Evie.
Thank you, Mustafa. I feel like what an eminent professional. Oh, don't forget your bucket hat as well. Don't forget your hat. That fantastic. Also a meta move at the end to have a haiku about Instagram and get us to follow us on Instagram. I quite like that as a move. I think we had a couple of thoughts over here. Would you like to come and grab a seat? What's your name?
Naimo.
Can you say that once more really loudly?
Naimo.
Aimo. Naimo with an N.
Naimo.
Thank you very much for being very, very patient, Naimo. Okay, we've got some thoughts over here. Anyone else? Remember, this is a people's talk show. This is the people speak. So whatever you guys want to talk about, we can talk about. I'm going to go over here and then over here.
I need to go back to work.
You need to go back to work. Fantastic. Before you leave, could you leave us with some final thoughts about what we've talked about on the table so far, or potentially a question that we can talk about with new people when you go?
I'd just like to say I had a really nice time on this table. It was nice hearing from all different kinds of people, especially young and people round about my age. So I really quite enjoyed it, and keep it up.
Fantastic, thank you very much. Can we give her a round of applause, please? That's all right, thank you for working so hard as well. Welcome, we've got new people at the table. Can I ask your name?
Mona.
Fantastic, great. Guys, we need some new topics of conversation, I reckon.
I've got a new topic for you. You guys, as you guys all have heard of the women's sports team. Women's football. Did you like it when the USA team won the World Cup?
How did we feel about USA winning the World Cup?
I think the better team won, but I didn't think that the English team did do too badly. I thought they've done well. They've played a good game. I think American team was just better and they had more opportunities to score.
But I mean, I'm sort of, obviously I would have liked England to have won. To have got through in the semi-final, but then I think, isn't it quite exciting that we're talking about women's football?
Yes.
And I guess to add to that, do we think that men and women should be played equally for playing football?
Okay, so this you made an amazing point. When you said that should women and men play as the same like, what do you mean? For example, in the same team, so like not divided or
paid the same amount.
Oh, paid the same amount. Yes. Because if you talk about, for example, Wayne Rooney, I found out from my teacher that he gets paid 90p for every hour, which is 1 hour and 20 minutes, because that's 90 minutes. Quick maths. Times that by 90p, that gives you a lot of money. Some women players don't get as much money as that, which makes really no sense. Even if he's a man and he plays terribly, they should still be credited with the same amount of money, because they've done more effort than he's ever done. My point.
Okay, so do we think men and women should be paid more? Should they be paid the same amount for football, for example? And what were you going to say a little bit earlier?
You win if you win, you win. You lose, you lose.
So what, if you could get paid more, you would do it, or?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. So, but do you think that's why it's a barrier for women going into football? Because maybe we don't have the same payment opportunities that maybe men do, or is something else going on?
Yeah, but I think in football they should be paid equally because they play for the same amount of time. But in tennis, women only play 3 sets of tennis, whereas men play 5 sets. So,
I do have to say, maybe I'm going to insert my own personal point here. People say maybe people don't want to watch 5 sets of women's tennis. I don't want to watch 5 sets of men's tennis, to be honest, sometimes. Sometimes it can be boring. But anyway, Emre, we've got some new people who are like, I wish I could join the table, but I'm just a bit too scared. Maybe the pineapple person would like to come and sit down. Come and share your thoughts, guys. We were talking about women's football. We're talking about women's tennis as well, or tennis in general. Do we find it exciting? Should men and women be paid the same amount in football as well? First of all, can you let me know your names?
Liba.
Fazan. Loudly.
Fazan. Inaya.
Fantastic. Emre, you had a point here that you wanted to let us know.
So because like for football, they're both let's say United, let's say England versus America, basically. I don't know who will win, but so I got a question. So did the USA win this year or last year?
So the question is, did USA win this year or last year for women's football or men's football as well?
Probably men's football.
So I think the US women won this year. I don't know about US men's soccer. You know who won? Can you tell us who won?
Basically, in the World Cup that happened in 2018, basically America, I don't think they participated in the World Cup, but then in women's they won, which was an amazing victory, by the way. Beat Ireland 2-1. He didn't hear me, so okay. So I feel like, wait, what team did win again? Do you know what team won?
It was France. For the men's team, it was France.
So France for the men's game. Margot, you've got some comments here as well.
Something that someone said earlier made me think. I never thought of it before, but as a thought experiment, and maybe we'll live it today to see that. But I'd quite like to see a mixed football team. So if there's an World Cup, having a mixed male and female teams playing for World Cup. I mean, I don't know if that's You know, I'd quite like to see that, because I've got a feeling there'll be a lot of tension. You're shaking your head.
Yeah, I've got some taking the head, and I'm going to go to Omar next. I've got to go now. I've got to go. Thank you so much, guys. You've got some really great ideas. Can you give us any final thoughts or questions before you go?
Carry on doing what you're doing, put your head up high and achieve all your goals.
Fantastic, thank you very much. Emre, and can we give her a round of applause, please? And any final thoughts from you, Emre?
So because you want to, like, so when you grow up, you have to choose what you want to achieve. Like, let's say you want to be a footballer, because let's say you're very good at football, and yeah, I just want to become a footballer when I grow up.
So put that effort into your dreams and keep going. I like that.
Oh yeah, and a dentist as well.
What was that?
Dentist.
A dentist. That's what you're going to be. Good luck. Go for it. Okay, fantastic, guys. We had some thoughts over here. There's so many people. I'm going to go over here first of all, and you were shaking your head. I wanted to know why you were shaking your head.
Are we still going on about basketball?
Well, we're talking about football, but actually, interestingly, because I quite like basketball, but we don't get to play it enough.
Basically, any sport we talk about, like football, basketball, it can be together. Like men should be men, women should be women. Because why? Let me tell you why. Because the men got different techniques, power, and whatever, and women different. That's why.
Guys, we're just talking about whether men and women should play football together. Is that a game you'd want to watch? Would you watch like a mixed football, maybe a World Championships of mixed football? Would you guys watch that? Yeah, I can't hear you guys. You're going to have to come closer. I've got really short arms. We need to hear your thoughts, guys. It's almost the end of Newham Show, or Newham Show, and we want to know. What is your name, first of all?
My name's Brandon.
Hello, Brandon. And would you, so we've been talking about football here, talking about the Football World Cup. We're just discussing, would we watch mixed football games, or maybe mixed basketball games, like some mixed men and women team games? Some people are saying no, they don't think so, maybe we should be separated, we're physically too different. Other people are like, yeah, it might be a bit juicy, it might be exciting. Let's go over here and then over here.
I think they can't like be together because they can't risk it. Like they might have different strength, like different speed, so they can't risk getting hurt.
So it might be risky that people have got different strengths.
But then what about all the sports like Formula One racing or snooker, where actually why are there not more women playing? Because you don't like there's no difference about like how well men and women can drive cars.
Okay, interesting. Brandon, you've got some thoughts?
I know a lot of women growing up that used to like literally skill me like and literally make me look stupid in football and things like that, so I don't see it as a problem. I do agree with this young lady here that it might be a bit dangerous, like on both parts, to be honest, not just the women. Sometimes men can get pushed down to the floor as well, but yeah, I think all in all, I think it's the right idea. Yeah.
Gillian,
when you're saying women and men have different abilities, different powers, the same thing happens with bodybuilding. A girl that is 12, she's younger than me, she makes me look like a fool. She punches trees. She has the willpower to punch a tree and break it. So when we're saying girls come, you're basically saying that you have to separate girls and boys in football or any type of sport, which I feel like is wrong, because girls and boys, they both get angry over a football or a basketball. Let's just be clear on that. And they both have similar strengths and similar weaknesses. So we should like for example, like girls, they really could be the most fastest person over there from here all the way down to the fake beach in a matter of 10 seconds. Boy, he can run from there to the fake beach in a matter of 30 minutes. So we need to understand that girls and boys have different types of strengths and weaknesses, but they could still be playing together.
Yep. I don't think they can compete together, because when I watch the Olympics or something, when I see the men sprinting and the women sprinting, I look at the times, I look at the world records, and the men's world record is a second faster than the women's. So for a really fast time for the men's will be under 10 seconds, but for women it will be under 11 seconds. So even an average male sprinter will be faster than the fastest female sprinter.
Yeah, so maybe maybe you're limited at some point, like physical differences come through. I'm going to just ask you your name very quickly.
My name's Jennifer.
Welcome, Jennifer. Thank you very much for coming to join the table of chat. This is Talkaoke. It's a people's talk show. I'm going to go over here.
Come on, people, let's be fair and let's be honest. Yeah? The reality is men's strength is bigger than women, so that's why I know my hair and he's saying whatever I say, so of course they cannot compete together.
Yeah, I think that's quite interesting. I just wanted to Gillian, like, how old are you? Can I just check as well?
Oh, I'm 13 years old and I'm doing this when people, for example, that are let's just see, Lynn Brown, she's way older than me and I'm doing this. I'm a political speaker. Oh yeah.
No, keep going. We're just introducing these matching humans in blue.
I'm a political speaker and I've been doing this for over about 2 years. Actually, no, not 2 years. Like 5 years now. She's been doing this for longer than me. Even if it's an age difference or even if it's difficulties or abilities, we can still achieve and strive to be the best.
Okay, interesting, nice, and I feel empowered as well. Yeah, I was just thinking because you're saying, like maybe there's a point in which men and women are well matched, and then maybe when we get a bit older, we're not. I've got a question over here from Margot. I'm just going to ask you guys your names. Welcome to Talkaoke. It's a table of chat. My name's Evie. What are your names?
Lewis, Dan.
Dan, why are you wearing blue tops, Lewis and Dan?
Well, basically, we're spreading awareness for male cancer, prostate cancer to be precise. Obviously, it's becoming a bigger problem. 45,000 people in the UK are being diagnosed, and then it's obviously increasing, that's causing death. So it's basically making the young men as well as the older men aware of what they need to look out for. And again, just spreading the name and the word, really, to be honest.
Okay, brilliant. So we're spreading the awareness of prostate cancer. I had a question over here from Margot.
I've got a question because we were talking about. I've got a question to you. I don't know your names, but never mind. I've got a question about, like, if your daughter wanted to become a footballer and play against other male players, would you support that?
Well, my name is Romeo. She's Juliet, my daughter. Thank you, guys. So yeah, I'll definitely support her, whatever she chooses. I'll be in her back always and pushing her for more and more, because she can do a lot already. Yeah, she loves football. Thank you.
And Juliet, do you play football or any sport? What kind of things do you like to do or play? It's alright, we can come back to you later if you think of anything. Okay guys, so we've been talking about men and women's sport. I don't know your name either, please tell us your name.
Aliyah.
Can you say it once more really loudly into the mic?
Aliyah.
Fantastic. And what do you think about this? Do you guys play sport? We've got like some thoughts over here, but I just want to get some thoughts from you guys first of all about mixed sports. Maybe mixed sports. Maybe we should throw some robots in there as well. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Football. I like to play football.
You're gonna just have to shout into the mic. I'm sorry.
Okay, I like to play football.
Brilliant. Yeah. Okay, you'd like to play football. Would you want to play in a mixed team, men and women?
Okay.
Yeah, fair enough. How about you guys? Do you guys play football? Would you want to play in a mixed team of men and women, women, robots? I don't know.
Yeah, there's no problem with it. I don't really play much sport myself, but yeah, there's no problem in it.
And over here as well, you had some more thoughts.
So when you said, what was it again? You said when we get older, I don't remember it, but like, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, you change and then like you get stronger than women. I remember going to a French school for a French exchange and I went to go play against girls and boys. I almost got schooled by a girl. My ankles almost got broken. Let's just tell you that. Girls are very skilled. Some girls are very quick learners. So saying that some girls may like get hurt by boys, that really doesn't matter. That really sometimes it doesn't matter. If anytime, for example, you're a guy, it's just basically saying guys can't cry. Anytime you fall, you need to pick yourself back up and fight more. That's what you need to do as a human being and how you need to survive.
That's interesting one. Some people commented on when like the Women's World Cup that there weren't as much like dramatics about being fouled or falling down. They just sort of got back up, and maybe that's a difference. I just want to say hello, guys. What are your names?
My name's Kate.
My name's Hashita.
And so we've been talking about women's football, men and women playing together. I want to know whether anyone wants to play with robots, but no one's really picking up on that one.
At what they were talking about before, how like it's not fair, they should be together, like versing each other. I actually agree with it now, because we can all have different strength and ability, and like we are all equal basically.
And you had some responses.
No. I'm sorry for interrupting you, but let me ask you. Tomorrow, are you in?
Pardon?
Tomorrow, are you in?
No, so we are just at the Newham Show, which is just Saturday and Sunday this weekend. So we're not here.
All right. I might come back, but I'm not sure. Yeah. So no, I haven't.
Can I grab one of these as well so you can look us up as well?
All right. Wish you all the best and take care of yourselves. Bye now.
Thank you. A fantastic final thought. Give her a round of applause. Thank you. Okay, hello, new person as well. What is your name?
Angelina.
Angelina. Okay, guys. So it's kind of okay. Before you go, guys, thank you for spreading the message about prostate cancer as well. Can you leave us with some final thoughts? You have to go really close to the mic. I'm sorry.
About the.
What we've discussed.
Yeah. I was just saying that regardless of the gender, like if a female's interested in that sport, say football example, if a female's interested in football and a male is interested in football, they should just take into consideration, like obviously that men may be stronger, women might be stronger, but that's a consideration you take into going into that game, into that sport. I don't think there's any issue whatsoever with a male going against a female at all.
So maybe we just need to be a bit more open, maybe just like take it as a case-by-case basis. Omar?
Yeah, I think there is an issue because I saw something where they took a Sunday men's pub team and they took them and to play against a elite level professional women's team from Brazil, and then the men's pub team, they absolutely thrashed the women's team even though they were at elite level. You know, they had obviously better skills and stuff, but the men were just stronger and faster.
So I find that quite interesting. Is it that one of these weird things though? I do wonder. I used to be alright at tennis, not anymore. But sometimes when you're quite good at tennis and someone comes on who's absolutely awful but still manages to get it, it can be quite hard to play against them because they're so bad you can't really predict what they're doing. Don't know, just gonna throw that out there. But yeah, it might be right. Maybe like there's just an advantage about being a man in sport. Do we get bothered by that, or we just be like, you know what? I'll just play against women and just be professional there. I just want to know what you guys think. Are you guys playing sports at the moment?
Yeah, I play tennis. And I don't really think there is a problem with like playing with a boy, or after all you shouldn't really be sexist and all that. You should, after all, be able to work with different people and see how it goes, and it's just experiences, you know. After all, it's not a big deal if you win or lose. It's more about what you learn from them.
Got some thoughts over here from, is it Kate?
Yeah.
I do horse riding, so if it doesn't really depend on the gender you are, it depends on your skills. But some sports it depends on like your strengths or how long you've been training for. But for example, if I do football as well, but when you do football, it matters on your actual skill. For example, if you have freestyling, there's women freestylers and there's male freestylers. And at the end of the day, as she said, doesn't matter if you win or lose. It's like how long you trained and how much effort you put in.
Okay. So we're talking about freestyling as well. Is that like free running, like parkour and stuff like that? No? I don't know what freestyling is. Can someone explain to me, please?
So basically, freestyling is like they do like different tricks which you wouldn't do on like a football court. For example, they might do like some crazy stuff like an overhead front flip, and then like if you try that on the football court, you actually get your legs chopped and killed. And onto the basis when you said that like they might be an elite player, and I like, from my personal experience, when I first played basketball, I couldn't play at all, but then when I started playing with them, I put effort onto it, I could play. And then my school went on a trip to see the New York Knicks, and then to the basketball team, and then we had to do practice drills with them, and then one of the practice drills was to 1v1 one of the players. I 1v1'd one, and then I almost won, but I lost by only 2 points. But just showing you that with hard dedication and hard work, you can still make an effort and a change.
Fantastic. So maybe with hard work and effort, we can all become elite basketball players. Maybe it might something else might be going on. I don't know, guys. We're probably coming nearest the end. We're probably about 10 minutes left to Talkaoke today. So it's a pop-up talk show where we can talk about anything. So I just want to know: is there a new topic? Do we want to throw something into the last 10 minutes that we want to talk about? I'm intrigued about what you've got.
Wait, what?
You had an idea. You're like, yes, this is what I want to talk about. If not, I'm going to go to your friend because it looks like you might explode.
One thing, my sister, and secondly, let's talk about how we're damaging the environment.
Climate change. Interesting. Okay, so we're going to talk about the climate crisis, talk about climate change. I'm just going to wonder, why did you want to bring that one up particularly? I'm excited to talk about it, but what makes you want to talk about it today?
It's because we don't have much time. We need every little bit counts. We need to help talk about the environment and how we're changing it.
Fantastic. And I just want to welcome you as well. I don't know your name. Hello.
Dee
Dee, welcome Dee. I would say we're talking about the climate crisis, talking about some questions. We're going to go over here, I'm going to go over here.
Just one thing about Dee that I've noticed on the way here is that she was pedaling a bicycle to power a phone. I didn't realise you can do that, but in terms of protecting of the environment, I quite like the idea that we use our own power, our own energy that we generate ourselves to power something that we can't live without, and that's a phone. But I do wonder whether we could actually ever live without our phones.
Can we live without our phones? Device, I'm going over here, then over there.
You guys did actually live without your phones. Remember, when you were a child, you guys did not have phones, so you guys lived without it because you talked with your neighbors as well. And just to go back to climate change, when you're talking about climate change, people already are aware of it, but then some annoying, grumpy people like Donald Trump, they don't care about it because they feel like it's non-existent, that you guys are just making it up. But then it is a world crisis that everyone knows it is about, and everyone's saying thank you, and everyone's saying that it's real, that we need to fight for it. And then Donald Trump goes like, no, you're just lying, I'm the president, I'm the one in charge, so I'm correct.
Okay, right, what do we think about that, guys? You had some points as well?
It's not because of anything else. It's because of us, what we're doing to the planet. And I think it's because of more on the Victorian times, they put lots of carbon dioxide, carbon footprint, and all these gases into the atmosphere. And it's not because of any of the animals that are suffering right now. It's because of us, and we should be able to resolve it now, because it's not the politicians, they're not addressing that real problem. They're more concerned about Brexit and this, but they need to sort out the actual world, or else there's nothing to sort out about Europe, because it's all going to be gone by the time.
I like that. And we've been hearing some voice maybe from the younger generation, maybe the ever so slightly older generation. I just want to hear thoughts from you.
Yeah, but I think it's the biggest companies and corporations in the world. They're the biggest polluters, and they do more damage than we ever could as individuals.
And maybe do they get taxed about it in the right way? Do they have enough scrutiny as well?
After all, like Kate said, that we are technically in a way ruining our planet by making decisions on using non-renewable resources and all that. We are in a way ruining our planet, ruining wildlife and habitats and all that. Instead, we should in a way be using renewable resources, but we're not making that choice because we think that non-renewable resources have more economical benefits. So in a way, it's something that as humans should be changing, but we just don't see that, and we're not making the difference, because one day we're going to see that we've ruined the planet, and we're not going to have anywhere to go to after that.
I've got so many thoughts here. This is great.
Climate change, it's due to the pollution we make. For example, the cars, petrol and diesel cars, they create lots of pollution in the air, which increases the gases around, and it makes the atmosphere more it makes the carbon dioxide more. Yeah, so I think we should be using less cars and start walking to places and use less transport.
Okay, so think we still our society's built around cars a lot, and we need to start breaking that by walking more, using public transport. We go over here, then maybe over to Dee Dee, and then over there.
I have a problem what they're saying. They're saying we're damaging our planet. It's not our planet. It's our God's planet, and we're destroying it. We can't destroy something we haven't created. So yeah.
I quite like that. Yeah, so it's like that sense. Maybe we have a sense of ownership that we don't actually maybe deserve. Maybe it, is it created by someone else, or is it just the fact that it doesn't belong to us, so we shouldn't treat it like it belongs to us? I'm gonna go, Dee Dee, you had a point, and then I'm gonna go over here.
So the politicians are saying what they want to do, but they never do it instead.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe the politicians say that we want to do a lot of things. There are a lot of people my age and older who are saying that they're going to do a lot of things, but do they do it?
Everyone has a choice, to keep this planet safe, but everyone's just destroying it like it's trash.
Okay, I'm going over here.
I've got a question, because you guys, have you heard of Greta Thunberg? She's she's basically this girl from somewhere in Scandinavia. She's, I think, maybe 13 or something. She's not very much... Yes. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. Probably we are talking about the same person, but basically Greta, she's in school. She's 13, but she's so passionate about climate change that she actually inspired her school and then more schools around the world to go on a protest and join the march. So what happened, and I think in England that was happening as well. So some kids went onto the streets and protested, and then Prime Minister Theresa May said children should be at school, and and children were just concerned about the environment. And I wondered, would you ever go on the protest? Would you ever do something against what your parents tell you, against the government, against school, and fought for something that you believed to be true?
Yeah, would you guys, just some people on the edge, would you guys go on a strike from school? Say if you're worried about the climate crisis, would you guys refuse to go to school, do something that your parents didn't want you to do? I don't know, it's a big question, isn't it? It's got quite a big question. I'm going to go over here and over here.
When she said it's not our planet, it's God's, I agree, but we are the stewards of the earth, so we should be able to look after it. God gave it to us to look after, and now maybe it's hard to explain, but it's not. He gave it to us to look after, and we're the stewards, so we have to. We're destroying it, and we're also dishonoring God at the same time.
Okay, so interesting. So maybe we've got a sense, actually, because we're so powerful, maybe we've got a sense of ownership, maybe it was given to us by a higher power. We've actually got some responsibility to it. So maybe it is a sense we do have ownership over it, but we're being bad owners.
When she said the Greta, what she did, I would go against the army, every single person on the world, just to fight for climate change. Because politicians, for example, Theresa May, they really don't understand what we're going through, because they've been in the age where they were in the Victorian times where they saw coal, greenhouse gases going up into the atmosphere, causing more heat, causing the ozone layer to melt, which is making it worse. And they're not trying to fight for it. They're only thinking about what their point is and what they're trying to send out, instead of what the community's point is and what they are trying to do.
Maybe community isn't loud enough. I mean, that's what my point is. I think we're all agreeing, but are you guys able to go on to a demonstration? That's my question to you girls, basically.
Any response?
We live in this planet just to eat and live. We don't have to do nothing more, nothing less.
Okay, and yeah, you also wanted to say something.
If everyone's saying why are people littering, then why are they littering? Why can't people do something like the people who are saying stop, put to a ban?
So we're kind of finding it. We think actually a lot of responsibilities on the individual, on ourselves, and yet we feel a bit of frustration. We can't really change what they do. Why are people still doing this when they know better?
I actually disagree with she said that. She said that we're in the earth just to eat and live. But I disagree with her, because you need money to eat, and obviously you need a job.
Okay, well, so we don't just eat and live. We have to have money. So we need to have a job. We need to have money to actually, in order to live on this planet as it is now.
I disagree with also what she said. We're in this planet also to make it a better place. We're meant, for example, Adam and Eve, for example, they had to work for this planet for what they had to work for their food and everything. So they also had to work. Everybody here has a meaning to life. Like, I think God's divine spark. Everybody has a piece of God, so everybody should be able to aspire to different things. And we're not only here to for example, live and eat. We as in eat and survive. We're here to explore the world. For example, this event is not just eating and thing. It's to inspire and enrich people.
I like it. That's quite a nice draw as well. We're trying to inspire. We're not just sort of living. We're not existing. We're trying to find something maybe greater than ourselves. Maybe that's God. Maybe that's community.
I like how some schools do wow things, and it stands for walk on Wednesdays. Yeah. So we have this poster, and they tell you, have you walked or been on a train or went to school, and if on a bus or in a car, but if you've been in a car, you don't get a badge for the reward, but if you walk or take a bike or a scooter to school, you get a badge.
Okay, I'm quite interested in this. So you're saying that you've got a walk on Wednesday policy at school, and it means that if you do walk on Wednesday, maybe you get a badge, you get a reward, but if you drive, then you don't. So what do people think this is fair? Do you think this is a good idea or not? And why not? Anyone else got any thoughts over here as well? I'm gonna go for who hasn't spoken very much recently.
I know this is not exactly what to do with what you just said right now, but continuing from the 13-year-old girl, I feel like I'm gonna go a bit against it, because I see if the politicians like Theresa May or anyone else, if they really thought about this, they would have made a difference right now. Protesting, children going outside, I don't see how much of a difference it's gonna make, because even they should have done it if they really were dedicated to it. I guess it might make a bit of a difference, but not that much. I see that they're dedicated to get out of their lessons just for it, but politicians, I don't see how much of a difference it's going to make anyways, because they really would have done it before if they really were dedicated about this topic about global warming and this global crisis.
Okay, so you're saying maybe protest doesn't really affect politicians, it doesn't change what they want to do, because actually maybe they should have done it already if they cared, and you guys protesting, but actually they don't care. Didi, you off? Are you heading off? Could you give us some final thoughts before you go?
Just to say that just make sure that you're looking after the planet and yourself, and make sure that others are safe around you.
Fantastic, thank you. Can we give Didi a round of applause, please? Thank you. How are we doing for that? We're doing all right. Okay, we've got so many thoughts here, which I love.
I disagree with her, because pollution is actually a thing, because that's what causes global warming, and that's why it's so hot and the ice is melting, and that's what causes our animals to go extinct. It's either that or they're being hunted down by animals.
So would you say you disagree, that you think protests being able to strike from school still will have because it's such an important topic, it will have an impact to you guys protesting? Well, how about what do you think?
When she was talking about money, I actually think they should stop money, because some people can't even afford houses, and they're using things that they never even created. If you bought chicken and chips, it wasn't theirs. They just used other people's things.
What, other people's money?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And they're just making people starve to death.
I'm quite intrigued by this. So maybe the money that you might use to say buy chicken chips or buy fast food, you're saying maybe it should belong to someone else. Is that because you think maybe people are using their money irresponsibly? Is that something you guys see a lot?
When you were saying that politicians, they've already done the idea. Segregation. What happened there? Jim Crow laws, the politicians, they didn't care about black people. Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, all of those black people that wanted to make, Malcolm X, they all wanted to make a difference. What happened? They protested and they made the difference. Segregation happened, the segregation ended.
Okay, nice. So we're thinking actually we can look to history. There's some really important parts of our history where we show that maybe protest was an incredibly important thing to do, and it was important to rise up against the state. Let's go for who have I heard from? I haven't heard from the pink for ages. Sorry, what is your name?
Hashita.
Say one more really loudly.
Hashita.
Hashita.
You know, as she said that you should like take away money. Yeah, I actually disagree with her because like if you take away money, you won't be able to buy anything. You won't be able to live because obviously you need money for food, for like a daily living as well. You shouldn't take it away because then like everyone would die and no one have like any food. I think like they should just like the government should just make like people just like make them work harder.
So we got some people here saying yes, no, money is like it's really important for society. Other people being like maybe we should have control about how people spend their money because maybe people are a bit more irresponsible. Remind me of your name again.
My name's Naima.
Naima.
Yeah, I disagree with her. We don't need money. It's just like we have natural sources in this planet, so like raspberries that keep us alive, or fruits and vegetables. Like we weren't born on this, like this, the beginning of this planet, there wasn't no money. It was just created like man-made.
Okay, interesting. So I feel like we're really dividing opinion here because we're saying, do we need money? And I think we've got quite a few people disagreeing from it. We've got maybe some older generation here as well, me included, who maybe have to deal with money a lot more. I'm going to go over here first of all.
What she's asking for is a communist country, and it never really works. Every country that has tried it has failed. So everybody, for example, some people have tried having the same income. For example, heart surgeons, cleaners who have the same amount of money, which I believe is really wrong, because they're saving lives while they're like, as in maybe they are helping the community, but they're helping a large percentage of people. Without money, the whole country or the world would suffer, because there will always be someone who's greedy, or someone who wants more, or maybe someone who deserves more. And for example, everything here was made of money. Everything he was enriching. Coming here, you're using money, which is enriching yourselves, enriching people, and enriching each other. So it's really like it's really like not support. For in a way, money supports our communities.
Okay, I really like this. So we're thinking that Kate here thinks maybe communism doesn't work. We've seen that. Do you feel like communism works? We've got a group of young people here. Some people think it does, some people think it doesn't. I'd like to hear your thoughts as well. They're secret thoughts at the moment. Okay, so what do we think? We got like a few thoughts going on here. Collins, have you got some thoughts? And we might, oh my blimey, I was about to swear. We might need to do some final thoughts going around the table. So we talked about a lot of things. We talked about the environment, we talked about communism. I'm going to go round because I think it's going to take a while, guys. Can we do some final thoughts? I'm going to start over here with you, Collins.
I just think, like,
I'm going to put it close to your face. Don't be alarmed.
In this society, money is needed like for nearly everything. Like, you need money to live in this society.
Okay, so Collins thinks we need money to live in our society. We can't get away from it.
When you said that at the start of creation, there was no money, animals can't use money. Think of that. Dinosaurs were the first living things to come on this planet. So how can an animal use money? Think of that. They don't have a developed mind like humans does, as we've developed through time, which made us use coal, now electrical. And also, she is correct that every time we try to make it in an even wage balance, it's always failed, because a heart surgeon, they're saving lives. They're trying to save other people, because they might go in cardiac arrest. They don't know what's happening. A cleaner's just cleaning it. They are saving people from bacteria and stuff from that. But then a heart surgeon is saving more people than a cleaner, because a cleaner is only just cleaning up stuff that heart people do.
Interesting, fantastic final thought. Thank you very much.
if they don't stop like money, then they should at least like lower the prices, because my mum said in her like times like everything was cheap, you could get anything, and yeah, but now people are just getting even greedier every century, and then they want more money.
Okay, fantastic. So that good final thoughts, and maybe that we're just becoming more greedier, that things are changing.
I think she's right, because like I hear that like every summer they raise the prices because they know people are gonna buy them because of the hot weather, and then it just increases every single year, and it makes people like poor because they're spending all of their money.
Oh, fantastic. Maybe capitalism is making people poorer.
I disagree with her that she said that we don't need money. We actually do need money because of mortgages and taxes that we need to pay. And also, if we don't have money, like the clothes she's wearing, obviously she bought it with money. That's why we need it.
Some thoughts? We're doing final thoughts, but we can continue this maybe on the way out.
If there was no money, and if you stop money altogether, then what's the value of everything? There's no value. I totally agree with Kate that we've tried this whole thing out. Communism, it really didn't work out. There are some people who really deserve more than people like cleaners or, you know, bin men or what. They obviously people like doctors and engineers and lawyers, they do deserve more. They're doing something, they're putting more hard work into their job. They obviously deserve that money they obviously deserve the good fruit from the hard work that they do.
Fantastic, thank you. Final thoughts?
And when she said that money in the olden days were less, it's because the amount of money was different. So if you go to the shop, 10p might have been like 2p, but that's because it's the equivalent now, because less they had. For example, 5 million is 5 million could have been like a lot more now. 1 billion. For example, the space shuttle. This, I don't know his name, but he was a man who designed the one that could land, and it was 5 billion. But now actual cost of it was 1.2 billion, which was the same average as it was before. So it's not really a change, and everything was still the same. It might seem less, but that's only because they grew older, and then they could have seen like the difference, but it's not really a difference, it's still equivalent.
Fantastic. Omar, final thoughts. You've been with us for a while, you've seen a lot of changes over this table. Can you give us any final thoughts?
Yes, I think before money we just used to barter for goods and just exchange one thing for another thing, and then I think the problem is inflation. You have to stop inflation because that just keeps prices rising up.
Inflation is maybe our problem. We've got coming to our final thoughts.
I just wanted to say how really very, very impressed I am by the level of conversation at this table that you guys had brought on, because we were talking about lots of different things and of different people, and I wish that like grown-ups were like so open and so outspoken as you lot, because really if you are our future rulers of this country and this world, then I can just like chill out basically. I don't mean chill out, but I think you really are inspiring in the way how you're passionate about stuff, and you are certainly an inspiration to me. So I really appreciate you coming, and I have learned a lot from you. So thank you. I just want to give you a round of applause.
So it's been really exciting to meet around the table not one but two potential prime ministers during the course of the day. And earlier on we were talking about whether children would be better parents, and I think you guys have made a really good case that children should be ruling the world.
Fantastic, guys. Oh, look, we've just been, for the last moments, being joined by some Talkaoke alumni today. We are actually wrapping up the People Speak talk show, Talkaoke. So I want to give you all guys just a massive, massive round of applause for today. Put your hands together. Thank you very much. My name's been Evan. We've had Margot, we've had Rick on the camera, we've had Kane, he went in for his Talkaoke for the first time. You've been fantastic. We're going to kick you out in under 4 minutes because the Newham Show is coming to an end. So thank you so much, guys, and have a great Monday morning.